Omensight is a reminder of how much I love the character action game genre, but also shows that the genre has come a long way from the era of games it takes inspiration from. Brace yourself for action that's visually stunning and a beautiful world worth saving from the apocalypse. You're introduced to Auralia, a world in ruin from years of war and conflict. If that wasn't bad enough, you arrive in the midst of a siege as the harbinger of the apocalypse. The world is in a dire state, but your role as the harbinger isn't just to tell the coming of the end, but to try and stop it by solving the murder of a priest. You gain clues from allying with 4 different characters. Each have important roles in the ending of the world. These characters are also important figures on different sides of the conflict. Draga, a stout general who has lived her life devoted to an emperor who might not be the hero everyone thinks he is, or Ludimir, a tortured warrior seeking vengeance. While these character tropes have been done many times before, the power of Omensight is introduced, which changes the dynamic of these characters pretty quickly. With the power of Omensight, the Harbinger can choose to show an important key moment in the world-ending murder to one of these characters. It makes for a really fun ride, not knowing how these characters might react when they learn about such a pivotal moment. Friends become enemies, a role a character plays on the final day could completely change, and that might result in you gaining important clues or not. While ultimately, which character you pick really doesn't have any influence on the final moments of the game, I still found myself eager to learn about these characters, and the twists and turns it takes felt worth seeing till the end.
On a cold night, thousand screams broke out. Uninvited guests put claws to the test. It had all the fun. There's nowhere to run.
The game is a visual delight, with large and beautiful environments that make a world on the brink of destruction look surprisingly good. Seeing the Harbinger flip around arenas, slashing through enemies, and slowing down time makes you feel powerful. You start with some simple light and heavy attacks, but get more options as you level up. Now I would have preferred a more skill tree style character progression, as I've found some abilities more useful than others you get early on, like a dash attack that lets you cover more ground than a standard dodge roll, or a large projectile attack that has an AoE explosion. It doesn't take long to get some of these abilities. I just would have liked the choice to have some of these upgrades earlier on over some of the other ones. Overall, I had a great time unraveling the mystery murder throughout the 10 or so hours of Omensight's story. It made me realize a lot of interesting things can still be done within the character action game genre, and the indie scene is perfect to experiment on these ideas. Blending these action games with other genres has a lot of potential, and I hope people follow in Spearhead's footsteps and elevate the genre to new heights even on this smaller scale. This review copy was provided by the developer. The game was played and captured on a PlayStation 4 Pro.
After 300 years, the great serpent Vodun has returned to devour